Sonya and Sasha, for real.
You're listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sasha for Real show, and we are so excited. So excited. Like, how do we get most of our guests, Sash? We
stalked them.
We stalked them, and we did a bit of stalking on Instagram yesterday, and I can't even tell you how happy I was to see this little message come through. Let me do the proper introduction. A comedy trio who began in 2015 with skits about old Greek fish and chip shops. They've made us pee ourselves with the Greek versus Italian skits and the ever popular bloopers at the end of their videos. Just finished a show this year, last year, called 50 Shades of Ethnic, and are about to blow up our theatres around Australia with their new show, Off the Boat. We love them. Please welcome brothers Joe and Carlo Salinitri. Please let me say that I've said that right. And Andrew Manfrey. Everybody say, "Put all you bastards for Sooshi Mango."
Yay! That was a good intro, Sonya.
Oh, you bastard.
We
got one.
I love it. I love it. Guys.
Beautiful intro there.
Thank you.
Made a mistake though, Sonya. It's not theatres, it's arenas. Big arena tour.
Oh, big arenas.
Big arena tour.
Oh my God. Well, theatres and arenas. I mean, I've done it. It blows my mind because we've been watching you guys since in the car with we had the four guys and you were doing the funny skits in the car, Italians versus Greek and the radio and dancing, and we lived for the end where we had the bloopers. I think everybody did. Every time that I've spoken to anyone about Sooshi Mango, they're like, "Oh my God, the bloopers at the end." Everybody loves that stuff. So we're so happy that you're here. So tell us what happened. How did this all begin? Take us back to the beginning of this beautiful thing called Sooshi Mango.
Well, it all started around 2015 where we were just doing I was doing some videos in my car and they were getting a little bit of light of day. And then I went to my brother very, very vaguely and said, "Hey, man, we're going to do a video." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I wasn't really explaining myself. Then I'd show him what I'd do and then he'd tweak it a little bit. And then we did one together. And what did we do, Carl? We literally just played, we pressed record in the car and went for a drive. That was
pretty much. We just put the phone on the dashboard and we weren't really meant to do anything. We just put it there and said, "Look, let's just drive and stuff around." And then we looked at it and cut it up and we put it out and then people reacted to it. And as soon as we got that, me in particular, as soon as I got that reaction, it was like instant addiction. And it was just, Then we got a message from Andrew, and he came along. And we've been friends with Andrew since we were, we're family friends since back in the day. And he said, "Look, what I got to do to be a part of this?" I said, "Mate, come along." And then we joined forces, and we just had a really, really good time. That was the main thing at the start. It was like every Wednesday we'd meet up and we'd do a video, and we would just laugh with each other. It wasn't about anything, but more of a release for us, And then it just kept going and more people attracted to it. And now we dress up as old men and old ladies and hit the stage.
And I think that's why we decided very early on to put the bloopers in the video basically because we wanted to show everyone how much fun we were actually having doing these videos. We would laugh and laugh and laugh and we're having such a good time doing it. I mean, we hate each other now.
Not now, always, really.
It's come together for us. Thank you. We appreciate that you've kept it through.
It was just, and it was also to show people a side of us as well, because we just like to have a good time and we like to laugh and we like comedy as much as the next person.
Yeah, I never really understood what people saw in it. In the bloopers in particular, but then now I go back and look at them occasionally and go, you can see the chemistry, and I'm sure that's what people identified with. There's just three blokes having a good time, And I think
you can see that you guys are having a good time, and that you can also see that the friendship is there. Like, it's the essence of what it is, above all else, above all the business and above all the stuff that goes on. It's that essence that you can see with you guys. Would you agree that that's what keeps you all together? And
yeah, there was no business at the start. It was just like we didn't know what we were really doing. All we knew was it felt good and we had a good time doing it. We were thinking to ourselves, my brother and I, especially Andrew, was just enjoying himself. Wasn't on that sort of wavelength at the start. But we were thinking, hey, you never know. One day we could strike it big, or we could do a show or do a TV show. We just thought we'd had that in the back of our mind. But like I said, every Wednesday it was just an outlet, and we would just really laugh, and that's why we're still together now. Is because I wouldn't do it with anyone else. I don't think I could. I don't think I could enjoy myself as much as I enjoy myself with these guys, as much as I do hate them.
Yeah.
You were saying, Carlo, that it was about like you got addicted to it. What does that addiction feel like? Tell us about that for all of you.
Well, it's validation. If you get a like or a comment or people saying, "Oh my God, these guys are hilarious," and they're getting something out of it. It's validating what you're doing. Like you don't know if it's funny until people tell you it's funny. You might think you're the funniest person in the world, but realistically, people have to like it. And it's when you find something funny and then they validate it, it's a good feeling. And to feel and that feeling of making other people laugh, it's just an undescribable feeling. So yeah, it was that's what it is. That's the addiction.
And making someone feel good, that was really like we were getting these messages of people that were saying, we suffer from depression, or I suffer from depression, or I've had a bad day. Watching your videos makes me laugh, makes me feel good. It's that and the cash, because
Hey, we are wogs after all right?
Cash money and then we're on the side. Yeah.
The cash is pretty good. No, look, above all, it was that. You know what? And I remember saying to the guys, because people used to come up to us and say, "What are you guys doing?" Like, people used to say, what, you got too much time on your hand. Little did they know that we were working full time, shooting these videos and editing these videos at night till all hours, and then going back to work in the morning to our normal jobs. And I said to someone once, if one person gets a kick out of this, one person, even if it gets a million views, but if one person, if it helps one person that day, we've done our job.
It's cliche, but it's true. It really is. It becomes the obligation starts to set in after people rely. It's almost like, "Oh, when are you guys doing your next one? Or where you guys been?" It becomes an obligation to give them more happiness. And
then helping that person allows them to spend cash to come to the show.
Yeah. It's about the cash.
In particular, during COVID, we came together. We put a lot of material out during COVID, especially during the lockdown period, to make sure that we kept the spirits up and help people through those dark times. And the feedback was overwhelming. People were so appreciative, and it made it worth. Not only did we keep ourselves entertained, but we managed to keep some people depression levels low. Well, we tried anyway. So.
You did 100%. We all appreciate that. We were doing that. Like Sasha and I work with lots of young people, and I just thought, how are we going to help? There's so many young people that they follow us on social media. How do we help? Because predominantly we're talking about students, year 11 and 12 students that had their whole years just decimated and all the fun stuff taken away from them. So, we were just pumping out funny memes, and we were getting messages saying, "Oh, thanks so much. You just brighten our day a little bit," and you get addicted to that. It's actually a drug, knowing that you have such a positive effect on everybody. So you've gone from being in the car to selling out arenas. Like what the hell, guys? Just mind blown or what?
Yeah, well,
very surreal.
It's an unbelievable experience, really. And like I'm just so grateful to all the fans, because none of this could be possible without people tuning in and following us. And we have an incredibly loyal fan base, and again, it sounds very cliche, but we're so grateful to all of those guys, because we started off with an iPhone in my Hilux ute, and now we're playing Rod Laver Arena and Kudos and other big places within such a short period of time. And it's all due to them. I mean, we worked incredibly hard to get here, but none of that would have meant nothing unless the people jumped on and supported us. And thanks, guys.
It's also due to the fact that I carry these two all the time.
Oh, here we go.
I'm the real talent here. Everyone knows I'm the real talent. Like it's well known amongst.
I'm the brains behind the operation, and everyone keeps taking credit.
That's why I got such big shoulders. I got.
Carry everybody around.
It's very, very surreal. And you know, when it's actually uncomfortable talking about it sometimes, I've got to be honest, like, you know, sometimes there can be a tall poppy syndrome in the country, and we just don't want to talk about it because it can start to feel like, oh, look at these guys talking about, you know, selling out arenas. It makes me a little bit, I don't know why, but it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, it's just
What's actually happening.
It's actually happening. You have to pinch yourself sometimes, you know.
I think the one thing, it sounds weird, right? But because we've lived life before this, just working and the jobs and doing different types of things and going through struggles or hard times or this, that, the other, or just work, you know, with businesses and work and so on. We're on the other side, so we're coming over this now, and we're not sort of too cocky, or we try and keep our feet down to the ground as much as we possibly can, you know, and the three of us make sure that no one ever gets their head too high in the sky. And I think that's the beauty of how honest we can be with each other. We fight all the time.
Really? What do you fight about?
Oh, different toppings on donuts.
Yeah.
You know,
Who knows the last piece of salami? This is just general stuff, you know, like it's normal type of stuff.
The last olive, who gets the last olive on the plate?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Honestly, we fight about material because when I say fight, you argue because you want the best. You want to do the best. You want to make sure it's the best. You don't want to settle. You know, "Oh, that's good enough." No, come on, it can be better. Or, you know, is that funny? That's not funny. Why isn't it funny? Tell me, why isn't it funny? It's funny. You know, so that happens. And but like I said, it's all because of the love of what we do and how much we want it to be beautiful.
Part of being a trio means you have to trust, or a duo. It's like a marriage, I suppose. You really have to trust your partners in crime and go, well, if they say, we normally want a voting system. If two say it's shit, it's out. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter how much you fight or scream. If the two guys go, or if I say, no, that's no good, we cut it. And you fight and scream and kick and whatever, but ultimately you got to go with what the group feels. And most of the time, I must admit, it's right anyway. Yeah, so that's it.
Do you know what Sonya and I have been in business for now 20 years together. And so
Wow.
we get that concept of what you guys
Give
think.
them a clap, boys.
That is fantastic.
And
That's a great
Quite an accomplishment.
It is a big, and we have this, you know, like Ralph, who owns the station that we're on here now. He always just says that like we're from each other's rib. You know, I've taken from her rib, and we've created each other, and we do that. And one of the things that I would say is the foundation in our business of what's kept us really strong. Because obviously in 20 years, there's a roller coaster of stuff that happens. Like you can't ever say that it's just perfect and it's, you know, everything's always, and you don't ever have moments where you agree or disagree on things. But one of the things that we always come back down to is the intention. And the intention, which I can feel from you guys, is the intention is for us is that we want to be good. We want to give out good material. We want to make money. We want to succeed. We want to do what's best for our listeners. And for all the, you know, in all the presentations that we're doing. So if one person comes in and says, you know, we should spend money on this, and it turns out it was a crap idea. Well, the intention wasn't spend money on crap. The intention was to bring success, but it was a mistake. Or if the intention was to put that material in and it didn't turn out as funny or as good, the intention. So I can see with you guys that same raw material that holds us together is what with you guys. Would you agree?
100%. You just said it in one. You know, you said we want to be good. We want to be the best. You know, not the best. We just want to be
The best we can be.
Best versions of yourselves.
best versions of us, and we want to be, you know, do our absolute best all the time and create the best. And we're always thinking ahead. People might think we look, it just might look slapped together, but it's really calculated. It's, you know, we're always thinking about our next move and how that is perceived, and how the brand is perceived, and you know, how our fans would feel about it. We're really calculated like that. And yeah, it just comes down to wanting to be good and the best we can possibly be.
But what do they say? What do they say? That success is a result of doing something well? Is that what they say, or something along those lines? I mean, as long as you do what you do the best you can, you're probably bound to get some success in whatever capacity. You're gonna see some success out of it. So yeah, we just try to be the best we can.
What's been the hardest thing about your business, about your group, about putting all the material out, about Sooshi Mango? Has it been tough times? Has it been hard?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always tough times. Sometimes making a decision is tough. Did you make the right decision? Should we have gone down this path? Should we have gone down that path? But then after a little while, you sort of, it sounds really weird. It's going to sound really weird, but sometimes the decisions are made for you. And we've learned that we trust the process now. And at the same, the hard parts are, you know, when, like you said, when you're writing, it's sometimes that creative process, they're the tough parts, or when something doesn't go right. But what I've found with us is that we're very resilient. If something doesn't go right, we're not scared to you know, roll up the sleeves and get it out. Like we put out a last year's show. We did a stream, like a stream online during COVID, and the stream started at 6:30. Well, we had about 10,000 people that got it. Everyone jumped on at 6:30 and it crashed.
Yep. I know, because I was one of those people.
You were one of them. Are you that one that was sending nasty messages?
No,
you were the one saying, shit.
The point of it is that we were getting barraged with messages and emails, and we were, okay, let's roll it up, make a little note and send it out to everyone. And we did that for 3 hours, you know, because those are the times where it's hard. Those are the times where things don't go to plan, and you have to make sure that, you know, you're not too precious to worry about fixing it.
Yeah. Do you know, we sat around, like, we looked forward to it. It was a day where just the whole family were coming together, and it was kind of reminded me of like the olden days when we'd sit, you know, people would sit around the radio and listen to their favorite show, you know. And I was like, we had nachos, and like it was a whole big thing in our house, you know. We're all sitting there, and then it crashes, and we're like, oh no.
The nachos got cold, didn't they?
Nachos, eh?
No, we just stuffed our faces. Don't worry, that we were. You know, what's your bloody remote's not working?
Did you end up getting it?
We weren't pissed off. We felt, we were like, oh, can you imagine these guys? I can imagine
we're sick to our guts. We're sick to our guts.
But I guess the point of it is, like, we got through it. You know, like it was hard. And
it was a good show. It was a great show.
What upsets us? What upsets? Did you get onto it, by the way?
Yeah, we did. We watched the whole thing. It was awesome.
So what sets us is that we want the fan to have the best experience. You know what I mean? We don't want to. That's what kills us the most out of the whole thing.
Well, you said that it's you and the whole family were watching the show. That's what's amazing about the people that adore or like what we do. Is it's almost a generation. It's from young kids right up to the elderly, and so when they come to the show, it's like seeing the whole family tree in the seats, you know, and it's really great. I mean, we didn't set out to do that, but whatever the hell we're doing, obviously it's a communal thing, which is just a bonus, really. So.
Andrew, right? We had a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, me, 23 and a half, and
why are you guys laughing? You're not supposed to laugh.
I'm laughing, Carlo.
I didn't laugh. I was a rock.
You were right.
I laughed.
You saw that, Sasha?
Yeah, I did. I saw.
Did you see me?
I saw
you. I genuinely know that you know that we're telling the truth about our age.
That's right. I know you
That's
are.
right. So that was a very nasty thing for you to laugh at that moment.
How long have you guys been together? 20 years? That means you started.
I know. We were We
We
met
met
at
in
preschool.
kinder. What are you saying, Andrew? We met in kinder. Anyway, so it was a beautiful family, and I'm talking, I got some serious cred today because I've told the 7-year-old and the 12-year-old that I'm interviewing Sooshi Mango, and they're like, what? Thank you. Thank you for making me.
Okay. I want to know, what did you guys do previous to this? Like, what was your jobs?
I'm a professional table tennis player. I went to China on a couple. No,
What was your job?
I was always in sales, like marketing sales, advertising sales, Herald Sun, Yellow Pages,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
magazine, and then like way early on, I was in the rag trade and car sales. So I always had mine was a sales background.
Okay.
Wow.
And Carlo, what did
I
you
was
do?
very similar, but I was a freight broker. So it was in transport, and then I went and lived overseas for 5 years, and I got this gig. I actually launched it's really weird. I actually launched this luxury fashion label that was from Switzerland, Saudi label from Switzerland. I launched it in London. So I had this sort of like dream job. Then I came back because everyone wanted me to come back. And I got back into that again. And then I got into business. I got into lighting business, which I still have. And I've taken, a step back from it. That does its thing now. And I'm still got some business interests going. But yeah, like that was me, I was running the business whilst we were building Sooshi Mango as well. So it's very, very much a juggling act for me.
Andrew, what did you do?
Pest control. I used to kill insects.
Ah.
I'm joking. No, I used to.
Sasha was like, okay, that's good. That's
That's an honourable job.
That's right.
That's a good job.
It's a good job. Hey, I do not like mice, so I'm there.
So what I used to do, so for a very long time, ran my own business, worked for the family business, sort of the scrap metal business, and actually still running. So yeah, before Sooshi Mango, I sort of was hard yakka shorts and work boots and chesty bonds, and they're out there loading scrap metal. And
so he used to come sometimes. His business is around the corner from where mine was, and we would do these videos, and then he'd come in and he'd have these those hard yakka shorts with concrete all on them, and it'd be -3 degrees in the morning, and we'd be looking at the vid trying to what about this, what about that, cutting stuff up. So yeah, we were juggling stuff. All of us were just juggling. But it's like Joe said, we would do the vids at night until 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning, and then get up and we'd have the bags under our eyes, and it was just
and I was running over people in the truck because I was so tired.
But I also used to do some. I used to sing in a wedding band and MC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that for a long time as well, and
yeah.
so we've always been chasing something. There was always something else out there. We didn't know what it was, and someone told me once that I see you doing something successful with a short guy, and I was like, "Who's this short guy?" And he was right next to me all the time. It was my brother.
Oh,
And they also said you're going to do something with a really guy with a really bad face, and it's Andrew. No.
now, I need to ask this because obviously your lives are so intertwined with each other, and the highs and lows in your own emotional life of what's going on. Like Sonia and I, I'd say sometimes that we're more married to each other than we're actually really married, because we think and breathe and we speak so many hours a day and all of that sort of stuff. So that when one is going through a high and a low, we're often, you help pick up the pieces and all of that, and you're almost married to each other. And then your families actually become married as well, because what's going on with one person, you need to pick up from them, and you're not spending time with their family. How do you guys juggle the outside stuff? The outside, your own family. I mean, you guys have got your own parents, but how do you juggle when you bring that all together?
Well, a lot like if I want to start this one, I'm married, got 3 kids, so it's always tough finding the time to be around, because obviously we've got Sooshi Mango, I still got a business that runs, and I've got the family. But you just find time, and when you married to a good person, they kind of, I'm blessed in that respect. My wife sort of says, do what you got to do. I'll take care of things. So I'm lucky in that respect. But it can get tough. And the boys, look, we also work within each other's schedule, which is really great because obviously Joe's got a family too, and Carla's got a girlfriend and a business. So we always make it work. So if we've got to get up at 6 in the morning, we're at 6 in the morning. If we're going to go out at 2 in the afternoon, we just make it work. It's just, there's no choice. When you love what you do, you make it work. It's simple.
I got to say, like, Sooshi Mango is the center of our life. Like, it really is. It's, you know, we've got other business interests and other things and whatever, but it's always Sooshi Mango. It's not to say that they come above, you know, your family or your girlfriends, wives, children, but it's just what Andrew said. Whatever needs to be done, we do it, and it doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't, if it's 5 in the morning and something happens, well, we're together. Whatever happens, we just have to get it done. And it's more than a full-time thing. It's just become, you know, like a livelihood. It's just second nature to us. It's who we are now. We're Sooshi Mango, so we make it work.
Oh, I just love it. Was there, Sasha and I talk about this all the time. There's some people say, oh, there was this phone call and everything changed. There was a moment and then everything changed. Did you have one of those?
Joe?
Well,
We've not had it yet, so we're just wondering. You know, we're like going, because everything that we've had to work really hard for. So, like, was there a moment where somebody rings you and you're like, oh?
well, look, there was never really a moment. I mean, the moment that which I think helped fast track where we're at is when Nick Giannopoulos sent us a message via Instagram to sort of say, hey, let's catch up for a coffee. We reckon we can do something. And we thought, when we discussed within ourselves, thought, oh, great, what video can we do with this guy? You know, and then he sat down and said, I don't want to do a video. I want to do a show with you guys. And you know, for someone that has been like wanting to break into the industry for so long, and especially sitting as a young kid watching the Acropolis Now is going, oh, I wish I could do that, all those shows. I've got to say, a little bit of piss came out when he did
It's true. Yeah. We were there at the coffee table, and he said, my brother gets really excited. Like, he doesn't have a poker face, like when it comes to business deals and stuff like that. And he said, so what do you want to do? You want to do some kind of video? He's like, no, I want to do a show with you guys.
And I went,
and I could see his body start to convulse a bit. So I grabbed him by the knee. I was like, just shut up, because he just asked for the contract straight away. We just signed for $5.
On his house,
you know?
Don't worry about it, dude.
Play it cool. Cool joke. Play it cool, yeah.
I'll pay you. I'll do it. I'll pay you.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, that was probably one of the moments where we thought, oh, we are seriously onto something here, because we had plans to do our own show. We actually met up and we were talking about doing our own show. Everyone was calling for it, and then it's almost like it was just, it's again cliche, but all this was sort of meant to be. We would end up doing our own show. We probably would have fumbled a little bit more, but we learned from Nick. Nick is the best person in this game to learn from by far. There's no other ethnic WOG comedian who's better than putting together a show than Nick is. Like, he's such a professional. He's meticulous. He cares about his material, and he saw that. He identified that in us, and he was like, let's do this together. And he really showed us so much that helped us when we finally went out on our own, you know. And if we had gone with some other people, might not have ended up as good at what it was, but we by ourselves, you know.
Nick's help fast tracked everything for us, because he paved. Look, it's not like he gave us a schooling in it, but we learned. It's just he was there in his presence. He'd talk, we'd soak it all in, and it just fast tracked what we're able to do. We learned from him, and he really, like Carl, I can't reiterate what Carl's saying enough. He's an absolute professional at what he does, and putting together theatre shows is second to none. You know what I mean?
What you guys said before, you watched those dancing around the world videos and all those videos that we did. Nick said he watched those videos and he just saw work ethic.
Yeah.
He goes, he knew how much time it would have taken to change those costumes, to edit it, to do all the stuff that we did. So he's like, I knew you guys were hard workers, would work hard to make your first show ever work. And that's what it was. It was our very first show in front of people was 800. It was a full house at the Athenaeum Theatre. So we had the baptism by fire, as I say, but it was sink or swim as well.
Yeah.
It was you guys better be good, otherwise, it's this. You guys know more than anyone how the industry is. So we were like, it was 800 people for 5 shows, over a weekend.
Yeah.
On Friday, 2 Saturdays are doubles, and we're like getting through them. And our first show went for it was supposed to go for an hour and 50 minutes. I think it went for almost 3 hours because we just
we were sitting on laughs for 30 seconds, just soaking the laugh in longer than what we should have.
We had no idea what we'll do. At the end of the show, there was an applause and the curtains drew, and we were selling. We were actually quite shit, but we thought we'd nailed it. It took a number of shows before we put it together, but that was an unforgettable. Do you remember the feeling getting off the stage, boys?
I do. Yeah, it was.
That would be the call or the message that really helped sort of fast track. And then since that day, we've had and then probably the next one was the email from Dainty.
Yeah.
We get an email from Ted Dainty, one of the biggest promoters in Australia for how long, saying we want to put a show on with you guys. And
that's a little moment, tiny.
That's
a moment.
That was another moment that excited us, and because
did you wear your pants at that one as well? Did you wear your pants at that one?
That was straight.
A little bit of shit came out with that one.
that was straight projectile vomit that came straight out.
I was just sort of looking at the email, going, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is that before we started our show last year, I said to the boys, in 2 years, we have to do arenas. I said 2 years time.
He did. He absolutely did.
I said to the guys, and I said, in 2 years, we're going to go and sell out arenas, and it's going to happen. We just have to make it happen. I said, we've got 1 year in theaters, and then we have to take that next step to arenas. This year, obviously, what happened was the show didn't go ahead, and it happened. It just
due to COVID didn't go.
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
And when we got the email, it was just like, and we met with them. I said, listen, we want to do arenas, and they said, that's where we want you guys to be. We want to take you guys to arenas. We want to take you guys to America. We want to really. And I was like, I can't believe, almost sort it into existence.
Yes, you did.
Well,
100% you did that. 100%.
I'm
law of attraction.
I'm actually big on that stuff.
Really.
That's saying, it's again very cliche, but never. I can't say to people enough now. Never give up on your dreams and do what you love.
Yeah.
It's not saying to quit your job tomorrow and you've got a mortgage and 5 kids and you're just going to say, nope, I want to be a clown that makes balloons. That guy.
Yeah.
You don't want that. I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
The noise?
I'm saying that never give up on what you want to do, because it can actually happen.
Yeah.
You got to give everything, to add to what Joe said. It's just give it a crack.
Yeah.
I mean, don't sit on your.
Yep.
The definition of stupidity is doing the same thing every day and expecting a different outcome. I mean, you got to just put yourself out there. If it doesn't work, who cares? Keep trying. Try something else.
Yeah.
If you want to give something a go, give something a go. Because before you know it, you're an old man or an old lady, and it's gone. Your opportunity's passed. And that's a waste of talent, and a waste of opportunity, and a waste of life. You might as well just get out there and give it a go. And I also, if anyone wants any Tony Robbins advice,
Sign me up.
So he's offering a package. He's offering free advice plus the old concrete shorts he used to wear when he used to drive the truck.
Yeah, and you can buy a CD pack of 10 afterwards.
$49.95.
$4.99, Carl. Not even $49.
$4.99.
$5.
But that psychological stuff that you guys are talking about, that is absolutely a foundation, because at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in these things. So you're out there like that. That's what Sonya and I are all the time. Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Where do we want this to go? What are we manifesting? It's that underlying foundation that you guys are all talking about has to play a part in it.
It is. I 100% believe in it. And it's not just like you have to visualize it. You have to feel it. You certainly have to feel what the feeling of it is going to be, and then you have to put the action in. You can't just sit and eat Doritos and watch Ricky Lake if she's still on TV. I don't know.
No, she's gone.
But Ricky Lake and eat Cheetos and think, I'm going to be a billionaire, and then not do anything. You have to, but when you're visualizing it, it's like it's already there. It's already, and that when you just get that feeling. Like from now, I'm visualizing at the end of this show at Rod Laver, the feeling of the audience, what the audience are going to give me at the end of the show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to the accolades and the happiness that they've got. I'm feeling what that's going to feel like, and that will happen. I know it will.
Can I tell you something? You know what I'm actually feeling? I've just shut my eyes, and while you're actually speaking, I'm actually feeling that Sonya and I are going to come to your first show at Madison Square Gardens, and we're going to laugh our heads off, and we're going to walk out and go, remember when we had that chat with these guys? But it's at Madison Square Gardens.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
It's coming. Okay, we'll get there. We'll
you promise? Because we'll be there.
No, I swear, because we need to manifest. I mean, there is not an arena. Sonya and I are madly in love with New York. And Madison Square Gardens is just the number one arena of the world, and we love it. And there's not a time that hasn't been there.
That's it. Can I say something? You're the second person to mention America to me in today.
Madison Square Gardens as well.
Not Madison Square Gardens.
I love New York. I love it. Like with when I first went there, I think it was 2007. I got out of the airport at JFK, and I was like, oh my, I'm in New York. Like I just felt, I walked the streets and I saw the steam coming out of the sewage thing, and I was almost like home. I was home. Yeah. I went a couple of years back with my girlfriend. I was like, I'm supposed to be here. There's something going to happen. And I told the boys, I said, listen, something's going to happen because I'm so comfortable here. I know we need to be here, know? And I think that's going to be hope. I know it's going to be the natural progression, that's where Tech Dainty was talking about it. I think that we will end up, there.
I have no idea where we're going to go, but I know this is going to sound really corny.
No, it's not. We're talking spiritual stuff here.
We are.
Almost anything's possible. I don't know how. I don't know where I can justify that comment even coming from, but I just know that in the beginning, I was the one that was sitting on the couch at Carlo's old apartment in Elwood and going, "Who the hell wants three dumb wogs to come to there?" And now we're doing an arena. I just know that anything's possible, and I'm pretty sure that if it's possible, these boys and hopefully me, we can make it happen. I just there's a feeling inside now.
I was just gonna say, I hope this doesn't come across. Look, I actually forgot we were doing an interview. I'm actually starting to get all spiritual. I think I'm elevating. I'm levitating right now.
Yes.
I don't want this. Look, you've got a side of us out, which is pretty rare in interviews. That it's raw. It's close to my heart. I don't want it to sound too cocky to people. Like, oh, these guys are talking about them getting to. I hope anyone listening doesn't think that, but it's just belief, self-belief, and desire and want, and that's what it is. It's not up ourselves.
Yeah,
we just
no,
believe. We
it's
just
not.
believe in
No,
ourselves.
Carlo,
No,
you don't
it's
need to say
absolutely
it. You
not.
don't even need to say that. When we were in New York, one of the times, Sasha and I speak there 3 times a year, and I took Sasha to Madison Square Garden to see Sebastian Maniscalco.
Brilliant.
Live.
Brilliant.
Can I ask you got that? You can't just say that and rush over
Yeah,
it.
no. Well, we did we were there 4 times last year in 2019.
Wow.
So
Doing talks.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, can I just say,
You
Carla,
just
when
said
you
no
actually
doors are open. You said the phone call hasn't come. What are you talking about? You're doing
No, well, we made it happen to ourselves. We made it happen for all of ourselves. But funny that you say that. And you're right, Joe. We just kind of dropped it like it was no big deal. And let me tell you, it is a very, very big deal. The fact that we've gone to New York and we've done this. But I went to New York for the first time when I was 21 years old, and I was in America for 3 months, did this massive tour of America, got to New York and loved every part of it, don't get me wrong, but got to New York, and exactly the same way that you described New York, Carlo, is exactly the way that I felt. Like I got there and I went, I'm at home. I just felt at
bizarre.
home.
That's how I
I've
feel
never
like
experienced that.
That's how I feel like when I go to Rye.
Well, I feel like that when I go to Mum's place for dinner.
But you haven't had a slice. You haven't had a slice of pizza.
Oh,
You
the
need a slice
slices.
of pizza.
The
Yeah.
slices.
The slices,
I
like,
haven't.
you know. And so,
I've never been. So I think I
Joe.
know-
Joe, that's
Laura.
why when we say Madison Square Gardens, like I feel like I'm portraying my dream onto you guys and putting it out there and all of this stuff. And I know once Ralph, who is the owner of this station, when he hears this, he's just gonna, like, you know, convulsing himself, going, oh my God, there's another New York kind of thing, because it's bizarre that we've actually gravitated all these people that have this same thing for this one city.
Yeah.
Like, it's a city in the world to have this vibe, because, you know, I've traveled all over the world and I have never felt that way that I did when I went to New York. And so, and then, you know, years later, Sonya and I meet and da 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 da. And over the time, I'm like going, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, you know. And then we got this opportunity to go to New York and we got to interview Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah. He's a Gary.
Yeah. He's a motivational speaker. And we did that. Was that 2017? 18.
18, yeah.
2018. And then we just literally went there and did that interview and leveraged, like, when I say we worked, I would say like we almost work 24 hours a day. You don't sleep when you're in New York anyway, because that's a complete waste of time. So you just literally, like, you know, you're just working and networking. And then it took us a whole year to be able to get back there. And then we went back there 4 times last year to do that. And then Sonya, as a birthday present, we went to see Sebastian Maniscalco.
Sorry, Sonia, I cut you off before.
So freaking funny. And being
Hilarious.
Italian, like,
Hilarious.
just, I mean, laughed and laughed and laughed. And one of the things that I love about your comedy, and that I love about his, and one of the things that I want to say to you guys is, not only are you making us laugh now, but I was, you know, watching heaps of your stuff while cooking dinner tonight. You were reminding me of my own childhood, of my own stuff, those things. So you were taking me back to moments that were probably not that funny back then, because you were going, what the freaking hell are you doing? Why are you saying that? You know, those sort of things. But now you're turning them into something funny. So the stuff that's given me, you know, therapy, you're now turning, that I've gone into therapy, you're now actually turning it into something funny. And when I'm having a laugh, I'm laughing with you guys, because I've been in that exact same situation. I've heard that same crap come out of somebody's mouth, and now I'm actually laughing. So I'm laughing as the 45/23-year-old, but I'm laughing as the little Sasha, as the kid that was there and he actually experienced it. That's the gold that you guys bring.
Yeah, I think that is what Andrew was saying before, that's what we stumbled across. You know, when we brought these ethnic dad characters out and ethnic mum characters out, it was you know, it was just basically doing bits of our family life, what it was like, what it might have been like for someone, and that's all it was. What we found out afterwards is that we were taking people down memory lane and taking people down a nostalgic path, where sometimes someone has passed away or someone's not there anymore. And we used to get messages, people saying, you remind me of my father. He's not here anymore, but watching your videos reminds me of him, my mother, my grandmother, whatever it is. And you basically now can this is going to, again, don't want to pump our own tires, but you can stand in the room and watch yourself as a kid when you watch our videos. It's like you're watching your own life almost.
Identify with it, and if you put a comedic spin on it, it's nice. It's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we meant it. We meant to do that.
But it's weird. So it's weird that it is that for a lot of people, but it isn't that for a lot of people. People are seeing the characters. There's Greek and Italian characters. There's all different types of characters, but they're just seeing them for characters. Like you've got little kids that are 5 years old or 6 years old that don't have an ethnic grandparent, but just like the way they look, or they sound funny, they silly, the way they yell silly.
We're like a cartoon to them.
We're like a cartoon. We're just becoming characters. And I think that's a big part of what I want to do personally, and the guys as well, is they are Italian and Greek characters, but they're characters. And we've been subjected to, a little bit of like, oh, that's not PC because you're racist. We're like, how is this racist? Where first of all, we're Italians playing Italians, or Italians married to Greeks playing Greeks and stuff like that. How is that racist when you can get people like, for instance, like Kat and Kim, for instance, and who I love those characters. They can send up the Aussie bogan, and that isn't racist, but what we do is racist. I can't figure that out, and that's something that we're trying to change in the culture, is that it's just a character. It doesn't have to be an ethnic character. It's just a character,
I think that no matter what you do, you're always going to get the keyboard warriors commenting anyway,
Well, it seems to be right now. You've got this whole token, like we're all trying to do, but people are afraid to turn left or right for a little bit and do something, put themselves out there because of all of that. But I just think if you keep it real and you keep that intention that we were talking about before, to entertain and keep everyone, make everyone laugh, then how can you go wrong with that? We just have to deal with those idiots on the keyboards, as you said, Joe.
I know we're all particularly proud of representing a whole generation of people. And it never started out that way, but it's become that now. It's like we're very careful. We make fun, we say silly things, we embellish these characters, but we're very respectful and mindful of these people. A whole generation, mind you, that have just been swept under the rug. Just forget about it. No credit. And so we're able to, through comedy, bring light to these people that have given so much to Australia, to this country, so much nourishment to the country. They deserve it, It's more than just us. It's like, remember the oldies, remember the ethnics of all nationalities that have come to this country to seek a better life. And let's celebrate these people, and let's stop being idiots about this PC stuff. Just celebrate people, and that's it.
Do you know how many we'll call it Australian Anglo people, non-WOG people love our
Non-WOG people, I love that.
whatever you want to call them. They Wilson, the whole Wilson family loves us over there as well, right? So it's like. There's so many. We have for a while just start to cross over. You don't have to just be a WOG. Yeah, okay. You like you said before, Sooshi, like you might reson with it a few things that's happened in the kitchen or hear it out the other. But we're now just funny to anyone sometimes. So which is a great thing.
Yeah. Because most people know one of us.
Yes, absolutely.
So you'll get those people that'll say, I understand, I didn't actually live that particular thing. So like for most of my friends that I grew up with, they were all Aussies. And then they'll actually watch this stuff because they'll go, that was going to Sasha's house. That was what was going on. When you went to Sasha's house, that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, so they're having a laugh at, and they'll go, you remember when your nonna used to do this? And you remember, because, you know, my grandmother lived with us. So she was a massive part of my friends and all of that. So here was all these Aussies that came into my life, and my house was like that hub that would, you know, all of a sudden I was showing them this whole other world of my nonna, and they'd walk in and go, nonna this, nonna that. And she's, you know, passed away a long time ago, but everyone still goes, nonna this, nonna that, blah, blah, blah. And I know they're talking about my grandmother.
Sure.
You know, because I was able to give them that part of my family, because, as I'd say, we're the kind of family that we've got those tentacles, mate. We'll just get into yours. Even if you're not in it, we'll get in there, we'll feed you, we'll be a part of that. We integrate into yours. Before you know it, you're Aussie and you're going, hey, I don't know. You know what I mean? And you know that sort of stuff. And I know, because all of a sudden, I mean, I think that the greatest compliment that I ever get from any of my friends, and especially, you know, and Sonya, when she starts speaking like me, like she'll go, you know, he died, he's dead. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. And like, so, you know, like when you start putting the O and all of that on the end of it, and you go, you're Aussie, and now you're putting on an O on the end of everything, because that's just what I've done. And now you're taking it on. So even though you've not actually been in it and lived in it, I think that the culture is, as much as every other culture, because every culture is beautiful, you know, in that sense. But this is really a big part of Australian history that just came into this country and flooded people, flooded with their, you know, like they had never seen anything like that before. And so all of a sudden it was such a big difference. And now and then all of a sudden, I think, you know, I mean, I know that my family experienced racism when they first came to Australia and all of that stuff. But then soon, I think that, you know, once they got on and they went, this bowl of pasta is really good, right? You know, and it's really good. They kind of go, maybe we should just get into it. You know what I mean? Because the food's really good and blah, 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 blah. And then it infects everybody else.
Sorry to cut you into this. I just want to say a good plate of pasta is a soft leveler. It brings everyone together, you know?
Hey, let me tell you, this is what I say. Pizza solves all problems. Everything. It solves all problems, no matter what happens. Because, you know, like, and Sonya, you know this, like with, you know, your husband's family, you know that, right? When there's a family meeting, because there's something going on in the family, you got to bring the family together to have a meeting for something, right? Because I don't know why we have to have family meetings, but anyway, you bring everyone together and you order pizza. For some reason, the actual, I don't think it's the discussion, it's the food.
Yeah, it goes away.
And everyone gets sleepy and can't be stuffed arguing.
Because you're so full. You're up to here with your carbs that you go, I'm sick of fighting. I'm going home.
Also, that most people are gluten intolerant right about now.
Oh, that's so good. What about when you went overseas, when you went to Canada? Tell us about that. Did you find instantly that the comedy just translated over there? Are they similar?
Cold as shit. It was cold as shit, whatever. But how cold was it over there?
It was cold. It was cold. It was
minus 25 it got to them all there.
Oh, very cold.
But
the comedy, the ethnic dads, ethnic mums, was exact. Like they were. It was like we were playing just in our own backyards.
Wow.
You know, you have to change obviously a couple of terms. And a couple of words that they use, you know, well, not even words. Like we did the Greek guys, we did fish and chips in Canada.
Yeah.
They loved it, lapped it up. But instead of saying flake, we had to say, you know, crab cakes or something like that, something that they would have.
We did this bit about pissing on the lemon trees.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so me and Andrew were playing our Nonno characters, the Pino and Giacomo characters, right? Yeah. And in Australia, when we do it, piss on the lemon tree, we would say, "Where the piss?" And then the crowd would go nuts. When we were doing it in Canada, we said, "Piss on the lemon tree," and we looked out, and everyone was just like. And we're like, why aren't they laughing at this? We did it in Toronto, then we did it in Montreal. And we're like, why isn't they laughing? And then I think after the show,
we were in the car.
And I because it was so cold, there, I was asking the guy who sort of brought us over there, I said, well, when do you guys, like a good old-fashioned wog, my dad taught me, you got to cover the trees, you know? I said, when it's with the cold, you have to cover your lemon trees and stuff. And he goes, lemon trees? We don't have lemon trees in bloody, it's too cold.
Because it's
They
too
don't
cold.
have lemon trees. They don't have any citrus trees in Canada. It's too cold.
Oh, way.
We didn't know. We didn't
So
know.
the joke didn't go over because they don't know that. They just don't. It's not accustomed to that. So there's little things.
And then
You know?
the character that I
Freeze,
play,
right? There's an arc of pee that would just freeze in the middle of the air. That's all.
But hang on, that makes me go, where the freaking hell? Does that mean Canada has to import all their lemons?
all their lemons are.
That's a
citrus.
business, guys. That's a business. Do you know what I'm
Probably-
saying? Like, we
It's
can need to
probably
get onto
already
this.
being done, but let's
Yeah, I know, right?
try and get a piece of that pie. I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hey, I'm putting it out to the universe. You know what I
Talk to
mean?
your
Madison
people,
Square
yeah.
Gardens, a lemon tree. You know what I mean? Like that's
We're gonna put a lemon tree in Madison
Madison
Square
Square Gardens. But
That's it.
it's
on it.
funny that
No.
you actually say that because
Out of spite, we've got all the piss on
But I
the
had a character.
like, piss on the lemon tree. That's going to be the brand out of spite to the Canadians.
that's exactly right.
I had a character that the guy in the red tracksuit pants that I play. He's a young guy, you know, like
Oh yeah, look,
Right.
he's bouncing around. Yeah.
a drug dealer guy, whatever you want to call him. And then I had to tone him down completely. Like I couldn't say Australian, like, really F off. They didn't understand the F off.
They don't say F off over
They
there.
didn't
They
say
don't
F
say
off.
get effed. They don't say get effed. They don't.
Oh, sorry. They say F off. They don't say get effed.
Yeah.
Get effed isn't a thing over there. So one of his lines over there is get effed, and they're like, they weren't getting it.
Us over here
So,
too.
for instance, like, you know, the quintessential chalk wog in Australia is different to their
Guido.
it's a Guido over there.
Oh yes.
So think about it, you know, like
They've got to, what are they again?
Guido.
Portuguese.
Guidos.
The Portuguese. Canadians make fun of Italian Canadians make fun of Portuguese the same way we do. You know,
Yeah.
what you got those? What do you call it? The chocks?
Yeah, well, not really, but anyway. But I was just so what I was saying was that, you know, their chalk is different to our chalk. They say different things. You know, they have different lingo. So that character doesn't really work as much as the old characters. The old characters are universal. They're in America, they're in Canada, they're in the UK, they're in every English-speaking language, and they have the same accent, and they do the same things. They grow the tomatoes, they grow the cucumbers, and they're the same people. So those characters work. It's just the younger characters, our generation. If you act, then you have to tweak them a bit.
You got to tweak that.
Yeah.
But apart from that, they loved it. They can't wait for us to go back. We were supposed to go back to America and Canada at the end of next year, but who knows now with this whole the COVID and what's happening over there, and it'd probably be 2022 or 2023 before we.
Oh, don't say that, Joe. Please stop at that moment. You're breaking my heart now. You've gone way too far. 2023, I might as well be dead by then. If I haven't left the country by then, I'll be like a skeleton of like, I mean, I'll be a really fat skeleton because I'll have eaten myself.
I don't mean not to leave the country. You might be able to leave the country long before that, but how? I mean, putting 1,000 people in a theatre. That's what I'm saying. Like, who knows how long that's going to be?
Just let's not say it because we don't want the universe to hear
Right.
that one. Right? Let's just not even say it.
How many is in Madison Square Garden? 17, 18,000 I've got to put in there.
25? What is
All right, good, even better.
I think it's
25.
is it 25? I thought it was under 20.
I don't know. Well, let's one of us Google it before the end of this show. But
Who's the producer, Eliza Wilson? Maybe she could pop up.
Eliza Wilson, she will get onto that one before you know it.
It's happening as we speak. Yeah. So we love how you jump on to just what's going on, you know, in the whole social media scene and stuff like this sea spray. Your take, Joe, when you're on the skate, your SACHA salt. I lost my mind when I saw that. It's just so good. Where do you get it from? Like, where does this come from? This gold?
Geez, that was just spare on the spot. You know, the SACHA salt was there. My son's skateboard was there. I was doing a video for something else, and you just do it, you know. And again, it's going back to what Andrew was saying before. Just do it, you know. Put it out there, and you don't know what's going to happen. It could go viral, it could go okay. It was like the dancing video that we did with the mums with the Maniac. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one.
TikTok.
And with TikTok and put on Insta and so forth, and with the Windex, you know, same thing. We didn't know that was going to get millions of views, but you just got to, your mind, you know, you just starts playing a few games on you a little bit, and you think, well, this could work. They're wogs. They play with this. They play with that.
Amazing. Eliza's just come back with 20,789 people.
Oh, there you go.
Madison Square Garden.
Closer to what I said, technically, Sasha.
Yeah. Well, hang on. It's -3 because the three of us are going to be in there already. But we're actually, I'm all right to not have a seat. I'm okay to just stand to give it to another paying customer for a bit of cashola. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy to stand. I'll stand for my 2 or 3 hour show. Like I'll give you that one.
All right.
Just like absolutely, like what a pleasure it has been to talk to you guys, get to know you guys, like just in the concept of what it takes to create who you are, the work ethic that it takes, the background thought pattern, all of that stuff, and to really get to know you guys. You're absolutely incredible. Like it's just such an honor to be here and get to know the real you guys. It's been absolutely beautiful. I've actually got a question. I just want to know, like Sonia and I have, obviously, because we've been in business for such a long time, you know, we each have our strengths and our weaknesses and different things. And, you know, one of the things is that, you know, like I couldn't do our tax to save ourselves. And thank God Sonia can, because she takes care of all of that stuff. I think I can't figure out what I'm actually the person that takes care of. But so, like, do each of you guys have like a role that you play? Like you kind of go, Andrew does this, he's in charge of that. Carla does this, Joe does that. Like, what's your thing? Not that I want you to be known, Sonia, as the tax chick. Like, I don't want to offend you and go.
You actually cool me up a little bit. You've given me tax.
Yeah, I know, I'm really sorry. Like, she does way more.
Hey, don't underplay
She does
that.
have banking as well. Banking is good. She does banking, tax. But, Sonia, banking and tax, these guys understand that that's actually number one priority, right?
Number one.
Number one.
All cash for them. They don't understand tax. It's all
Yeah.
cash.
Hey, I was going to say, none of us do tax.
So, so Sonia, would you be willing to do a second set of books for me?
I think I've got you another job, Sonia. Sorry.
Yeah, well, no, I'd much rather bring the lemon trees, actually.
Yeah. So does everyone have different jobs, or like you kind of go when stuff happens, you go, you ring Joe for that one, you ring Andrew for that one, they take care of it.
Look, I guess sometimes I'm the admin chick, or I can't say that anymore to take that away. I'm the admin person.
Okay.
I can't say that word. Or you know, I take it on sort of like full time as well, because the guys got the other business interests. Sometimes they do a little bit of their other stuff. So sometimes it comes to me. So I do that, but then my brother and Andrew are very like we said before. They got the level heads of. If it was up to me, I'd do everything. You know, sometimes too much, and then these guys are a bit more able to sort of pull the reins back a little bit on me. What am I trying to say?
You're really struggling with this question, aren't you?
I don't know. I was wondering.
Well, look, my brother. So it is a full-time thing. My brother is full-time. You know, he does a lot of he does a little bit more.
I'm a bit of a control freak as well. Like if we're going away, I will book everything because I want to know it's done.
Right, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to know that the ticket's there, the flight's there, my car's going to be there, and I get it all happening, and we do it all, and it's all done. You know, and I'll look after all of that stuff. And
where my brother and I generally do the editing. Business decisions, it's probably we all make them. Like myself and Andrew are a little bit more We generally try to drive the price up. Joe generally tries to drive it down.
I feel sorry for people sometimes. That's my weakness.
Yeah. But
You know?
they feel sorry for them if they don't get the cash. So
Yeah. Not that, that's what I was saying. I didn't want to say that before because I don't want to sound like that they don't. They do as well, but they think, oh, we're worth, this is how much we're worth. I'm like, I know, but I feel bad. His foot's sore. I don't know.
But like I'll typically I'll control most of the social media, like what goes out, posts, and what that type of stuff. But we all make all the decisions pretty much all together. It's not like not one person will make it. It's like we have.
And the writing is all
together.
And Andrew is.
Unless you're wondering what I do.
Yeah. What do you do, Andrew?
Andrew's a very good mediator.
I'm mediator. I get in between the two brothers and try and calm shit down mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, and when he's involved in it, he just doesn't mediate that. Then my brother steps into that. I'm usually the one going at either one of them because I'm pretty strong-headed. If I want something, it has to happen. I admit that. But I usually get mediated.
That's why, and that's
come down to this. It's come down to this. This is the way it generally works. Carla goes, "You do that. I couldn't be stuffed doing it this time." So one of us gets on it and does it. Then we do it. And he goes, "I hate that. That's crap." And then he does it.
So now we don't do it. So now we don't do it at all.
I give a shit. You do it then.
Well, I'm a perfectionist.
You didn't do it right. Yeah.
It is a curse. I'm a perfectionist, and I admit that. And if it's not going to be done right, don't touch it.
Yeah.
We all do. I guess we all play a big part in everything that we do. But like I said, we've all got our little traits, and we know how to deal with if someone's feeling a bit down one day or stressed. You just let them ride. Early on, even though we've been friends or brothers for forever, you sometimes not worry, but if someone's feeling a little bit funny, you start to worry, oh my God, but then you realize it always just comes good. People just need time sometimes to see something or to play it in their mind a few times, and it always comes good, and we always get the best.
To end off that question, we're like Voltron. Remember Voltron?
Yeah.
Used to come together.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Yeah.
We're like we form and we perform together.
Love it. Boys, our signature question, because you're on the Sonya and Sasha for Real show, is we always like to end with this. What do you know for real? Let's take it, Joe, first. What do you know for real, Joe?
What do I know for real?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a
deep question. It can be deep, it can be light, it can be whatever you want it to be. The other boys going, crap, what am I going to say? Yeah, what have you got, Joe?
What do I know for real? I guess I know for real, I have to be, I'm not going to try and be funny. I'll say that you have to put in the hard yards to be successful.
Yeah, love it.
That's what I think. Sorry, Carl. That's because it's not going to be given. No one's going to give it to you on a silver platter. So
yeah, love that. Awesome.
Love that.
I'll go and tell you guys that I know for real that Off the Boat in 2021 is going to be an absolute banger of a show, and everyone should buy a ticket.
Hey! Yeah! Buy a ticket at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Relentless
exactly
promotion.
And then we'll have a slice.
Yes, have a slice. Yeah, I cannot wait to have a slice with you guys. Like that is the ultimate of goal. Please don't forget us. Please don't. We will hold that to you. Please do not forget that we will have a slice for you.
I actually don't think I will forget. This has been really, really good, and I think we should come on the show again or do something. Or it's been really good.
100%. We're not letting you go. Do you know what I mean? We are not letting you go. Like we have a thing.
You can't leave.
Yeah, you can't leave.
Andrew,
my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I know for real that Sonya and Sasha are the best interviewees that we've had. Interviewers we've been. This has been a great interview.
Oh my
And
God.
it's been, and they want us to show a side of ourselves we normally don't. So thank you, guys. That's for real.
Oh my God. I'm going to start to cry. Thank
Ah.
you.
Yeah, this hasn't been normal for us, you know. This has been, look, we're just talking candidly and just completely forgot that we were actually on air or whatever. It's just been good.
Oh, that's so
Thank
good.
you.
What I wanted
Thank
to say before was when I took Sasha to Madison Square Garden, we saw Sebastian Maniscalco. I think it was his 5th night of sellouts. He'd done 5. I think he might have broken the record or something. It was a big deal at the time as a comedian. Is that right, Carlo? Are you thinking the same thing?
I think he did something wicked like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we saw him on the final night, and he brought his wife on stage, and
And his dad was there too.
and his family was there. And I just remember thinking, I understood what he, how that felt. He's like this, and you could see it in his face. He was so happy. He couldn't believe that he'd worked to this stage where he just sold out 5 nights at Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Someone told me once it takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
Oh, they were lying. It takes 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, we must be
We
ready.
must be there then.
You're ready to explode onto the scene.
What we love about you, and I hope this doesn't come across as being a bit weird, but we are actually proud of you. You're Melbourne boys, and we can see the work ethic that you have, and you put goodness and laughter into the world, and you make us all feel amazing. So thank you so much for being on the Sonya and Sasha For Real show. We will never forget this. It's been a wonderful experience. Thanks, boys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
So
us.
much, guys. We'll come back anytime. And like I said before, this has been and like Andrew said, it's been the best interview for us. You guys are great.
Oh, hey, can I just say, please, the next interview we're doing.
Who did we send the invoice to? I think.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. If I want an invoice from Joe, if I want an invoice from you guys, I want it from Joe because it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want Carlo to send me an invoice.
You don't want to see my invoice, Sasha?
I don't want to see your invoice. I'm like, no, I'm going to talk with Joe. He's the admin chick. You know what I mean? He'll give it to me. Hey, I know this is another last question, but have you guys got to know each other so well that when you're actually doing a deal over like a Zoom, that you're almost feeling each other's vibes?
I know
like when you know when to shut.
I
And
know what he's going to say. I know what, like if someone sent an email or a message, I know now what the replies are going to be. No problem.
We have code also. There's code. We didn't use any code in this interview. We have some code.
What's the codes?
Oh, we can't tell you the code.
We can't tell you the code. It wouldn't be a code if we told you what it was. But
Do you normally like?
We've got ways of wrapping things up and changing the conversation and whatever.
Wrap it.
Yeah. Because Sonya and I have been on a couple of Zoom meetings where there's been some deals done and all of that sort of stuff, and then they start to ask money, and you guys will understand that they're doing this and right, and Sonya and I we'll look, and it's like we look at each other.
Yeah.
Right? And no one says anything. And that's our way of going, listen, mate, it's coming up, right? And like, right on this screen, it just looks like I'm sitting here going, hello. Right? But really, I'm looking at Sonya. I was like, don't you speak. She's like, don't you?
Joe, I'm the Joe in this situation. I am the Joe.
You're the Joe, are you?
We don't have the money. We could do a little one for free. Maybe
Yeah. I'm the one that's
don't say anything.
Don't say anything. Yeah. Up the price. Don't say anything.
Anyway,
We don't discuss price over Zoom. We do it via email.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. But when, like, let's say for example, you sent out the quote, and then they come back and you have a chat, and they say, "Oh, this happened," and then all of a sudden we just go, like there's just a look like going, did you not? Oh my God, like, do you not agree with that price? Because we're just like innocent little girls that just accidentally sent it out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we identify with that. We've got our own little things like that. But generally, it's just trying to put a muzzle on my brother.
Well, you know what? We need to get into the meetings with you guys, because then all of a sudden we'll do that look, and it's that little like,
All right.
and that means just shut up and let's not speak. Because I've heard so many times the person that speaks first is the one that loses the deal. So whenever there's an issue, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then they just speak
absolutely.
their
The
own, they
first
just
one to
speak,
Yeah.
and before you know it, they're speaking their own crap. Whereas I'm just like, I'll just let you talk, guys, talk away.
Right. You're first one to speak will they say loses.
Losers.
But but the thing is too is that sometimes what's frustrating is sometimes you deal with big brands, like big multinational.
We don't know that yet, but let me tell you, but when we do, we're coming to advice for you guys.
Those ones there, you're like, man, that's the I'm with the boys on those ones there, because come on, let's go get serious with some of these brands.
Some of them can be the worst than a small, mum and pa or whatever.
It's the mum and
big
pa. It's the mum and pa which pull at my heartstrings. I'm gone.
Yeah, the big brands, you just like hit them with it, but they'll actually
stab in the neck with the pin. No, don't say that.
do you know what? I think I've loved this because we've got to talk about the comedy, we've got to talk about the family, and then we've also got to talk about the business behind it all. And I guess that, and it's not about blowing smoke up your own ass or anything like that. At the end of the day, we need to make a livelihood, and we need to make it, and it's not just for us, and it's not just it's to literally to go, hey, where you might actually, and I say this all the time. I say to people, you are booking me to speak for 1 hour or an hour and a half. And you might think that you're paying me for that 1 hour. No, you're actually not. You're paying me for 20 years of experience to be able to put that 1 hour and give you that information. So, and also to be able to know how to handle that audience, because there are times that, Sonia I've done thousands and thousands of gigs where, a kid will say something that's just like left field, or, a tech doesn't work, or this happens, and blah, 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 blah. And you go, yep, I'm cool. No problem. I'll work it out. I'll do this. Whereas you get someone that started from the first time, and then they get this 16-year-old mouth off at them. And they kind of freeze and like, oh. Whereas I'm like, bring it on, mate. Bring it on. Bring all that stuff on. I love it, and that challenges me as well. So you're paying for that experience. So if you're actually thinking that what I'm charging you for that 1 hour presentation is actually a lot of money, I'm not giving you 1 hour. I'm giving you 20 years, and I'm also giving you that 10 hours that it's going to make me to prepare for that 1 hour.
That's right. Yeah, it's the preparation.
So you think that you're getting 1 hour, but you're actually not.
Well, in the case of Sushi Mango, you get 3 people. And a lot of people don't factor that into it. It's like, oh, yeah, a couple of grand will do. So, not that that's the price. I'm just saying, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just like, there's 3 people here. So you've got to coordinate 3 people to get together at one time and then write the material and make sure it's quality, then film it, then edit it, then give it to you, or turn up and whatever. It's a big undertaking, eh? So, yeah.
No, we don't do a lot of the stuff we used to do. We just sort of stopped doing it. Like some of the, I hate to say it, some of the smaller stuff, we stopped doing it just because, we don't have time to do it, or we're writing the show, and we did have time when we weren't writing shows and stuff like that. We would have extra time. It's just, progression. You do levels, and you just go through life and try to climb. No one wants to go like that. Everyone wants to go like that. And the whole world is trying to go like that. And everyone's trying to give you that. So no one can see this on the radio, but everyone's trying to go low, It's
we
like
talk with our hands, I understand.
Yeah, that's right. It's the old thing of, they go low, you go low, they go high, and you meet somewhere or whatever. It's just life,
No, but
I might add, we do charitable stuff too, yeah?
100%. So do we.
Always.
We do a lot of that sort of stuff too, because it's important to give back to the people out there who need it more than you, So
yeah, and you've been giving to us all of this whole interview and all of years and years, and we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. We're so proud that there's Melbourne boys that we are definitely going to be seeing at Madison Square Garden, and Netflix specials and all kinds of things coming up in the future. Can everybody just go crazy for the incredible Sushi Mango? Thank
Thank you, guys.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Please get onto all of the outlets and find tickets for your show off the boat. That
Right, yeah, they can go to that
sushimango.com.
techdainty.com, sushimango.com, tickettech.com, ticketmaster.com, wherever you're listening it, wherever it is, just go and check it out. You'll, I'm sure, look, it's going to be at least the 27th best show ever. So it's
Joe
going to be
Carlo
great.
and Joe, oh, you're brilliant. We love you.
Brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. And you've got goodness in your soul. And thank you for opening up for us and showing us who you really are as people and as performers. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Very much appreciate. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you at the show.
Oh, one in Madison Square Garden.
That's Sushi Mango. You've been listening to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. This is a Sonya and Sasha for Real show with Sushi Mango. See you next week. Woo! Yeah!
Sonya and Sasha, for real.